Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. Since the early 2000s, up to 90% of all the global trade of cargo goods is done through cargo container ships. These cargo containers, or intermodal freight containers, are closed steel boxes transporting goods in large quantities in a unitized manner. They are transported from one place to another and then from one mode of transport to another. Hence, it is named intermodal containers. From ship to truck or rails, these containers can work between multiple modes of transportation. On today's feature, we will look into the actual work that goes to ship our goods across the ocean around the globe. Modern commercial container ships are designed to have storage both on deck and below the deck for short travels or when carrying refrigerated containers. The containers will be placed on deck for easy unloading. The modern cargo containers are usually 20 feet or 40 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 8 to 10 feet high. The scale of the container ship is measured by the total weight and mass on a ship and is known as DWT, or deadweight tonnage, which includes fuel and ship weight. Weight in terms of containers on a vessel is known as TEU, or total equivalent units, of 20-foot containers. There are multiple ways cargo container ships load and unload their cargo seaports. And the three main ones are the box container ships, roll-on, roll-off ships, and the lift-on, lift-off ships. For box container ships, it usually uses the facility's cranes to load and unload containers on the port. Whereas the roll-on, roll-off system loads and unloads containers by rolling them on and off the ship. For lift-on, lift-off ships, they are equipped with their own cranes to load the containers on and off the ship. Usually for cargo container ships to travel through the water canals, they become restricted in capacity and dimensions because of the depth of the water in the canal. Many such ships are named after water canals they travel through, to identify their design and weight restrictions. For example, Panamax is named after their cargo capacity limit for traveling through Panama Canal. Their usual dimensions are 950 feet by 106 feet, length by width. It can carry up to 5,000 TEUs. Most modern ships are propelled by mechanical systems consisting of a motor or engine turning a propeller. The propulsion system on a vessel can be as simple as a diesel engine directly connected to a shaft driving the propeller, or diesel engines powering an electrical generator, supplying electrical power to an electrical motor. The setup of the propulsion system depends on the vessel's size, trade, or type of operation. Larger cargo vessels commonly have a slow-speed main engine with a maximum speed of 100 to 130 revolutions per minute, connected to a fixed pitch propeller. The engines are typically operated on heavy fuel oil, heated to 120 to 140 degrees Celsius to allow it to be injected into the engines and burn. These engines rotate both clockwise and anti-clockwise to allow forward or reverse movements. Smaller vessels often have medium-speed engines with 720 to 750 rotations per minute connected to a gear. The gear is connected to a shaft, which is in turn connected to a propeller. These engines will normally run with a fixed RPM and rotate either clockwise or anti-clockwise. The mechanism of how cargo container ships work basically involves three parties. The exporter, who sends goods from the place of manufacture. The importer, who receives the goods at the shipping destination, and the shipping company that loads the cargo from the exporter's location and delivers it to the importer's location. In between, there is a party known as a freight forwarder, who will work for the exporter and arrange a container at the exporter's warehouse to load the goods. An exporter's agent oversees the paperwork. The freight forwarder will then take the sealed cargo from the warehouse to the port, and the exporter tracks the shipment through a tracking ID. At the port, a shipping agent oversees the paperwork and customs inspection and pays the port officer to ship the containers inside the port warehouse until they are ready to be loaded. The agent will also collect the bill of lading from the shipping line and provide its receipt, which is basically information of cargo and transportation details from the carrier. A copy of the documents is also sent to the importer. The shipping company is responsible for making the cargo plan and loading the cargo containers on the ship. When the ship parks at the port, the containers are transferred to the deck by trucks and are loaded using forklifts or cranes. The containers are secured on the ship using lashings. When the ship arrives at its destination, an importer's representative will provide documents and a bill of lading to the port officer and receive the shipment. The cargo is unloaded the same way, and the total tonnage and cargo details are once again verified. From the port storage, a freight forwarder will arrange for the cargo container to be delivered to the importer's warehouse and unloaded. Evidently, the process of shipping our daily goods that comes from all corners of the world involves a lot of planning and procedures to ensure its safe delivery. Of course, technologies are constantly developed to expedite the process and make it more efficient, to the extent that cargo ships are being designed to operate autonomously, controlled by humans thousands of miles away from a safe, dry shoreline of this Earth. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.